ever beat yourself up because you don't get done what you said you were going to get done? I'm particularly guilty of making plans. On the weekend, I'll get this done. I'll get this done. I'm going to be so efficient. And then the weekend goes by and I'm like, I didn't get any of that done. And when all of this work from home started, I had actually great plans of a lot of the things that I thought I was going to get done because I had so much more time on my hands, which I wasn't looking forward to, but for whatever reason, here we are well into this work from home. And I'm beating myself up for feeling guilty. I haven't done 90% of the things that I said I was going to do. So I gave it a thought, came up with an idea. The best way to get Rhonda to do things, and I'm sure I'm not alone, is have a party. So we're going to have a procrastination party. And here's how it looks. And I hope you'll join me on this procrastination party. At some point in the next 7 days, what I want you to do is grab a piece of paper and I want you to sit down and do a brain dump of all of the things that you said you've been going to do for the last year. I don't mean just during the pandemic. I mean, I said this year I was going to clean out this. I was going to paint the fence. I was going to learn to run. All the things that you said, both personally and professionally. You're going to divide it into two. And just for the record, that list, if it's anything like mine, is going to be incredibly overwhelming and you'll feel like you've been hit by a ton of bricks. But immediately we're going to start putting that list into play. Because once you've written a list, you've done the brain dump, so it's all on several pieces of paper likely. The first thing I want you to do is find one thing that you can do immediately just to get it done. Now, I'm willing to bet that some of you will get it done before you finish writing the list. You write down that you said you were going to do this and you're going to stand up and say, I'm doing it right now. So just one. If you can do more than one to immediately get it off the list, I'm okay with that. Kind of like my time management rule. If it takes less than 3 minutes, get it out of the way, get it done. If it takes longer than 3 minutes, leave it on the list. So one thing, get it done immediately. The second step is I want you to find 2 things that you can start this week. Doesn't mean you need to finish them. You're just going to get them started. So maybe you're going to clean up and organize your email so you've got better folders. Maybe you're going to clean up your desk. Maybe you're going to clean your fridge. Who cares, right? But one thing that you can just start. I want you to find 2 of those things that can do this week. We're coming back to that. The third step is I want you to find 3 things on the list that you can say, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm done. I give up on this particular thing, and give yourself permission to let it go. Now, I started this list and it is overwhelming, and I was working on both the personal and professional. And on the personal one, we've been talking about organizing and cleaning up the basement for a long time. My kids are adults. They're out of the house. I still have a lot of their stuff in my house. And so we've been talking about, let's package it up. Let's get rid of it, send it to their respective homes, give us our basement back, right? And as I was cleaning up the basement, I came across an exorbitant amount of scrapbooking stuff. So when my kids were little, I got really into that creative memories and I created beautiful scrapbooks, and the kids love them as kids. And I have big Rubbermaid bins that have, all of Patrick's stuff, every grade that he went through, every award, every one of those crazy things. And my plan was one day I was going to sit down and scrapbook it. And as we were cleaning the basement and going through this list, I gave myself permission to not do that anymore. I said, you know what? I'm never going to do those books. And now that my kids are having kids, do they really care about their first grade awards? Probably. I still have all that stuff and I'll just give it to them, but I'm not going to scrapbook it. And then all the scrapbooking stuff I have, I lovingly gave it to a friend who's very good at creating those homemade cards, and she loves to do it. So I gave it all away and we delivered it yesterday. And I felt this huge come over me to give myself permission to let stuff go. So by saying I'm no longer doing that, I got rid of a lot of guilt. So I plan to go back to the list every week and find more things that I'm going to start and continue. So some of the things that I've put on the list are creating these video messages for you every week, right? I've done a lot of other things that I'm doing, and I feel good about continuing them. But if I don't feel good anymore, it'll move to the list where I'm going to stop. I don't add 3 things to the stop list every week, although that would be a really good way to get rid of the list. But I do add 2 things to the start this week list, even if the other 2 aren't done yet. And I find what I'm getting is a much better sense of control over this overwhelm from all the things that we need to do. Make it fun, make it a party. List everything that you've said in the last year I should do. Go through the list, do 1 thing immediately, get gone. 2 things on this week's list and 3 things you're going to let go. Next week, revisit. Do the same except the last step. I think you'll find, as I did, that it's liberating, it's motivating, and it's helpful. So keep on the right track and have a procrastination party this week.